the meta carries do some form of spread damage or have some kind of massive utility that just makes them super valuable. Whereas Lifestealer, without the amp of, say, a Slardar, your entire hero concept is I can hit anybody and they have to run away, right? But if you don't have the ability to do that, or if a hero can just kite you, you can't actually stick to a target, you have problems. He had similar issues, and you would deal with him in a similar manner to how you would deal with Sven. But Sven can buy Ags now and like teleport on you while stunning.
And Sven has the spell talent.
Yes.
So you cannot buy Ghost Scepter, Glimmer Cape, Yule Scepter, you name it. Lifestealer does not have any of those.
Yep. Or a stun. And that's really dangerous when you play against an Oracle. You open wound somebody, and then they just get cleansed and they run away.
How are we feeling with this similar opening coming out of FlyToMoon for the 4th game in a row?
5th game in a row, Rich.
5th game in a row. Sheesh! Wow, your math is fantastic, Kyle.
It's okay. We've been working on it though.
Big NA brain on the desk would really help out.
Rich, just to clarify, what's 100 plus 25?
Okay, you make one mistake on camera, and all of a sudden you're known as the guy.
It's better not to answer it.
Before I even started hosting Dota, it's been a long-running joke that I do not know how to do math. That's why I talk. So thanks for making me feel insecure about that, Kyle.
That's okay. You can't be good at all the things.
Evidently, I'm not very good at many of them. But when we talk about people being good at things, Alliance has looked very good in the drafts so far. Even in the first draft, yes, they weren't able to win the game, but I feel like a lot of the things that we heard from the casters was the fact that it seemed like they had pinned FlyToMoon in a corner throughout the entirety of the draft, but FlyToMoon was just able to execute so well in that first game.
Yeah, they just played with it. I think the lack of the Oracle factor so far undefeated.
Lockdown, we call it.
Huh?
The lack of lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown?
Yeah.
Lockdown. I've never heard that before.
You really didn't?
Is that a Lacoste special?
Yeah, it's
You just
one of those
inserting-
stupid puns.
Yeah. Definitely seems like you're lacking something there. Lacoste.
It's like, is there enough oxygen in this room? Like, you guys...
No, the smell of your feet is taking over. Is that why you're worried?
This is supposed to be the draft panel, serious analysis.
I would tell production to zoom in on the feet, but it seems like you did not cut your toenails in a month or so. But so, yeah, let's just stick to the draft.
You want to know the real reason that my toenails are growing so fast? I've been consuming copious amounts of biotin to make my hair grow this long.
The second bending phase coming out, Void Spirit removed.
So now, as we do move forward here in the draft as well, Lacoste, I do want to know, what do you think so far of what Alliance has?
Oracle and Darkseer, these two have a way of dispelling things. There's going to be one carry that's going to amp things up. That's pretty solid. You pick one good hero, you pick a hero that is countered by it, so they don't have anything against the Darkseer. You might need to get, something like a Yule Scepter. There's also Invoker on the other side, I believe. So yeah, they actually have a way of dispelling. I'm just saying some random stuff right now because I'm looking at you, Rich, pointing stuff out on the screen. Not sure what's happening.
No, I was just pointing at Kyle to try to see if he could notify production that on our monitors we don't have the bands right now. So I wanted to make it easier for you. That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, we're just trying to guess. Let's play a game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Kyle actually is the only one who can see it right now.
That's correct.
That's why I was pointing at him.
That's the one thing Rich always has an eye out for is Twitch chat. Make sure that they're well taken care of.
I just want to make sure that they had it. I wasn't sure if we had a different screen than they did. But ultimately, as we do continue to move on forward here, Kyle, is there anything that's jumping off the page to you?
I like the bans from Alliance. I think that even though FlyToMoon's draft has stayed the same, Alliance is definitely tweaking what they're willing to do here. The Oracle first phase, to me, is going to be the pick of the series, especially if Alliance can execute and get a win. I like the Clockwork. Again, just good synergy with the Darkseer. I think that was instrumental to the victory. There's the Sven we were just talking about in the pregame.
That's another dispel. Once he hits 15, and he hits 15 very fast in the game, especially if he goes Midas, there's going to be some stacks going on. One way to get out of the cogs as well. So looks like a pretty good Sven game. There's also Invoker on his team to amp him up.
Yeah.
So you like Clock?
Yeah. They went Darkseer third pick last game, correct?
I believe so.
So they jumped it up a phase. I think that's a really smart idea when you, even in this game with the Sven coming out, I think S4's Darkseer is just one of his best heroes. And this kind of also goes back to just the difficulty of captaining from a core role.
Yeah.
And when I played off lane for a long time while shot calling, and it's significantly easier to do that on heroes like Darkseer because you can do, one, you want to play with your teammates. So ultimately you're kind of always looking for where do you want to be on the map, and where you want to be is oftentimes where you want your team to be, so it just kind of plays into itself. And then also you almost always have a decent laning phase. You can itemize to help your team, and you've got a method of cheap wave clear like the DK as well. Really nice to just have something that's real beefy against the Sven, and it's one of Limp's best heroes, plus great synergy with DS.
I was afraid that Alliance is not going to have enough tower damage in the previous game since they last picked Beaver, but they itemize correctly, I would say, going for that Deso, and which allowed them to play fast. I'm not sure if that's going to be a great like clockwork game. Invoker is fine against it. Tiny can toss him out. Sven, once he gets Aghanim Scepter, can easily just get out of the cogs. I'm a bit worried about the matchup on the mid lane. You know, Invoker against Dragonite. Dragonite's going to get the farm eventually. You know, you can't really just stop him from farming. It's the same thing we've seen when FlyToMoon played against NIP. It was Morphling against Invoker. Invoker dumpstered him first 2-3 minutes, and then Morphling still gets back into the game.
You know, I think one of the things that we've applauded throughout the day on the side of FlyToMoon is the fact that they've been able to be on heroes that they're very comfortable with. And
he just left.
He's left.
He's gone.
Hanskin left the game. FNG, take over.
I think it's really important, though, that we've been paying attention to when the stakes are this high, trying to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
Because, you know, this game is going to decide who moves forward.
Yeah.
And
This world is
as much as Fly to the Moon in the previous series, and even so far in this one, we've applauded them for having that comfort. When you now look over on the side of Alliance, they're on a bunch of heroes that we know these players for.
Yep.
And we've already seen Limp use the DK to great avail so far in this tournament in a few different games. So now seeing that again is a big deal. But how do we feel about the Grimstroke?
And it's good synergy with the Sven, both the laning phase and throughout the game. I don't know how it interacts with the ultimate, if Sven has Ags and Grimstroke ult something, how does that work? I think you stun the first guy and then leap to stun the second guy, right? Or
I think you just stun one guy and go to that primarily target, and the other guy should get stunned. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it's something for testing. I will say, game 3, not quite an elimination series. Loser goes to play the Divine Playoffs. Winner goes into Immortal. I think Alliance, it's good that they won the second game. I think it gives you a lot more confidence in this decider if you're coming off a win rather than a loss.
Yeah.
FlyToMoon, you've got to think, okay, we got to do something different. Whereas Alliance, they kind of recognized, I think, that the two key heroes that turned it around for them, which is the Darkseer and the Oracle. And now you just keep it simple. You know, Hanskin plays a nasty clock. Limp is the DK. To your point, Lacoste, they've got tower damage now. They've got team fight. And you last pick your game winner for Nico Baby with as much information already on the field as possible. They actually banned out the Weaver this time along with the Lifestealer on FlyToMoon, which makes sense. He did play a mean Weaver, and I think the other thing that gives it a benefit over the Slark is the way you can itemize. The Deso helps so much more in these mid-game team fights than anything Slark could buy, plus helps with tower pressure.
I love Grimstroke since he has everything. This hero is one of the best position 5 heroes in the game, at least in my opinion. You have a stun, you have a silence, you have a wave clear, you have a leash mechanic. The hero scales, especially if you get something like Philosopher's Stone, if there's a great enemy carry on the other side, add you one. You try to get the Aghanim Scepter. Just overall, great hero that is great in the laning stage, great in the mid game, you name it. It's a great laning partner for Sven on top of that. And this game, they have a lot of stuns. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 stuns out of 4 heroes. Wow, I can count. Rich, you would not be able to do that.
I'm still trying to catch up to what you just said. 4.
I can do that.
We got it. Yeah, 4.
I
Okay.
can do it backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow.
Say it all at once now.
What?
10.
What did you say?
Never mind.
Man,
Kyle, you're just another level, Kyle. I can't keep up.
Underlord also can have a hard time keeping up, especially against these speedy heroes that are going to surge away. Thanks, Rich. I do like it against DK and Darkseer because you can just control chokes. And if Darkseer is allowed. Like, you don't want to fight Darkseer and just have him and whoever he surges just kind of moving around freely. It's also... I actually don't even know how I feel about Underlord. That hero is so odd to me.
It was like, so I was hearing some of the analysts actually talk about Underlord quite a bit and how they felt about it. And they were basically saying, yeah, I feel like it's crazy strong as long as you don't have like 3 matchups. They were just saying like 3 matchups completely obliterate this hero's game. And it looks like this might be a pretty solid game this time around. But as you can see, we close this out with a Jug. Lacoste, how do you feel about it?
Jug right now as a carry feels like one of the weakest one compared to the other heroes like Faceless Void, Terrorblade. He just loses those matchups, but there is not a hero in that game right now. Depends how the start's going to be. This Oracle Jug, if they get a kill or 2 on Underlord, they can make his game miserable. But Underlord, I have to agree with whoever you talk to, Rich, that Underlord is just insanely good hero right now if you're not, just being countered early on.
I'm concerned for Alliance's damage output in a full-on 5-on-5. You can assume Underlord's going to grab some teamfight items, probably early Pipe or Mech. You're going to have Sven going for maybe Midas, earlier BKB. But the main issue is that if you look at this, it's Jug and DK as your sources of damage. Oracle Clock do not do DPS, and FlyToMoon, they're just so tanky. These 3 strength heroes, you're going to have an Invoker running around, real tough to lock down. It's going to require a really excellent performance from Limp, I think, to take this game. I've seen him go for this Blink Rush before. I think this is a great game for it, so that they're not completely reliant on Hanskin's Clock to make plays. And if you do that, especially with the Darkseer, you're going to find kills. You're going to make space for Nico. I'm curious to see what items he goes for as well. And I think the bottom lane for Alliance has got to win for them to feel safe moving forwards in this game.
I feel like if Underlord just pops off early on, if they don't feed, and they have so much control in this team, and I feel like they have a much superior team fight with the Underlord just going back in with the ulti, resetting things. Their heroes are good at it, but they don't have that one real save, against the Juggernaut. On the other side, there is Oracle. I think this game is going to be even, the first one we've seen today.
Yeah, definitely the closest of the drafts, and I think that more importantly, if you get a little bit of a lead on one team, it's not just game over.
Yeah.
Well, this is very important things to think about when the stakes are going to be as high as this. We only have one of these teams going to be able to stay immortal, the other one going to be dropping down to mere divinity.
The first game was picked Oracle, and they had a lot of success with it. FlyToMoon was very happy with that pick. They wrote their name, proverbially, on that hero and its success. And then Alliance comes along and just sees that and decides, I'm going to take that for myself. Kind of like when a coworker, you say you have a refrigerator, where you have a bunch of people's lunches and stuff, and everybody writes their name on it. And some coworker comes along and just takes that, somebody else's food, and eats it for themselves. That's it seems very rude of Alliance to do something like that, right?
It's like the rudest thing you could do.
Absolutely. I just wouldn't be able to stand a workspace with somebody who'd be willing to do a heinous act like that, Rich. But let's get into Game 3 of FlyToMoon versus Alliance.
I was like, I didn't witness some thievery going on here, but I'm assuming something pretty intensely right now.
But seriously, what do you think about this draft, though? Is the Oracle positioned for success again? No, seriously, Rich is a piece of shit.
What a piece of shit. I thought that's what you were right. It looks pretty good. There's a lot of different things he can dispel. I love this Underlord pick, actually. I think it's super good if he gets away with the lane. If he dies a couple times, which is possible, this is going to be our first blood, it can prove to be problems, but I think if he's able to sustain, the hero has some really big benefits this game. Versus this Surge, versus these high HP heroes, the Firestorm is definitely going to be nice. And if he gets Mech Pipe, I'm seeing a severe lack of damage on Alliance. But yeah, I think it's really up to, we'll see what happens in this top lane, see how they're able to play it against versus that Jug. Because he already had to use the spin the one time, so.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to use what is a pretty high damage combo in the laning phase to actually bring down this Underlord a couple times and keep him on the back foot, or if Underlord's just going to be granted some free farm off of the back of Roger doing what he's done time and time again, which is pulling the creep wave.
This has to be the most boring matchup ever. This is just regen versus regen, but DK is going to win. And he's actually been aggressively tipping Iceberg. But yeah, I mean, it's Cold Snap versus Dragon's Blood. It's just not an exciting matchup, and DK has just better animation overall. You have to kind of play around it as an Invoker to, you know, pull the creeps to yourself, do these all those nice little mid lane mechanics to actually try to come out advantageous in it. So yeah, they set themselves up for some pretty strong lanes on the side of Alliance. Very, very obvious lanes, but strong ones as level 2s are hit. At least on the Sven, as well as that Darkseer. Grimstroke not quite there. Lots of kills are possible down here. This is a fun lane. Top lane, I guess, can be fun too, but I feel like if Underlord plays the lane well, he shouldn't actually die to the Oracle and the Jug. Like, you can get these type of sustain items, you get the early Bracer, you get yourself some Fairy Fires, etc. Just keep yourself healthy, and you have just innate tankiness to be able to survive.
Yeah, there's different game plans at top, right? Yeah. Underlord wants to stay away from fighting and just focus on the farming. And then this bottom lane, they've got the same game plan against each other. They both have a combination that can easily get kills. It's just about who's going to execute it a bit better.
Absolutely, yeah.
Toss him onto the range creep. Oh, nicely done by Roger to secure that last hit.
General's like, stop canceling the Firestorm. He's like, I really don't want to use this here. Like, but
I was going to bring up our mid matchup, and then I forgot it's the really boring DK Invoker. He is winning in CS, and that's really all we need to look at from that matchup.
Ooh, nice toss back.
Yeah.
Does he have a Mango or anything? He does not. The Nico's actually just going to push away General just to ensure that FNG is safe. S4,
There's
though.
his bottom lane, S4. He's the first one to die in this bottom lane.
I mean, it's all about just a resource management down there. It's like if the Grimstroke and Sven have their Mangos, have their Clarities able to run, they're going to be able to get constant kills down there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tougher for the Clockwork Darkseer. They still can on the Grimstroke, but yeah, a little bit harder.
And I feel like it's difficult for either one of those two to stop the Chainstone combination of Stormhammer into Inkswell. I guess the best the Clockwork could do is try and go for a Cogs pushback, but if he messes it up, then they're both stunned.
Yeah. Limp 8 denies. Look at him go. Tornado tries to secure 2. Limp doesn't care. Limp continues to not care. 15 and 10. Continues to not care. Another deny. 16 and 11. I mean, he's owning.
Yeah, who cares about tower hits, you know?
Yeah.
Anything just to focus on the CS.
And because Soul Ring got changed, he's versus a Quaswex Invoker again. He's like, sure, I can go Soul Ring in this matchup. It's not bad. I don't want to rely on runes. General.
It's actually really nice.
He'll be fine up here, as we said. Not getting the most last hits, but as an Underlord, if you're not dying, like it's like the super benefit. And bottom, oh!
Managed to get the Inkswell stun onto S4. He couldn't get away. This combo, it's just too easy for them to find openings.
The second they see Hanskin like pull the wave, instead of being like, hey, we need to interrupt this pull, they're like, no, we're going to kill instead.
Yep.
Now they are a little bit low on the mana, though. Oh, nice. Iceberg at least denying away that regen. But yeah, look at Sven's mana right now. He's a bit lacking, but I imagine it's going to start being that courier ferrying of Mangos, etc. to make sure they can keep those combos and keep shutting down the Darkseer. FNG. Ooh, he gets the toss actually on the Underlord, not quite onto FNG.
Yeah, that means they're going to miss out on a little bit of damage, and it could be the Underlord going down, but he's kind of blocked in. Nico, baby, couldn't get the rest of that spin on him, and FNG was too scared to try and go for another round of Purifying Flames.
Oh,
there it is.
Nice Cogs.
Cogs. They still managed to get some good damage on S4 here, but Hanskin just going to walk past him. Whoops.
They're trying to secure the range creep deny and the bounties. Do they have mana up on V2? They don't right now. Always Want to Fly still does,
very
though.
awkward.
Yeah, they can't contest it. They're going to have to go for the kill here. They're bottling up Hanskin too, but can't quite. Cooldown not available yet.
This is not going so hot. They just gave up both the bounty runes without being able to get a kill. A little awkward. It feels like this has kind of been some of the story I've seen from Alliance's S4 and Hanskin's lane very often suffers. Why do you think that is?
I mean, this one, it's a hard... Iceberg?
Is he going to die? Does Limp have enough to be able to catch him one more time? The Cold Snap doing so much work there.
General TPs? What?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's probably like, okay, I'm taking your lane. That's a bit of a scary one. Now he has to like run all the way up there, but I guess maybe they're trying to set up with a kill with Roger.
It's a hard kill to get with level 2 Firestorm.
They're gonna try.
Roger's gonna come in, tosses back over to Iceberg onto the other side of the cliff, but Limp, he just kind of cruises on past. The most damage he took, and that was himself from the Soul Ring.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Bit of an interesting one there. As for the, the S4 plus Hanskin, I feel like they sometimes just play these heroes that just aren't the strongest. It's off-lane kind of thing, right? They don't play these super strong ones a lot of the times. I've been seeing like a lot of times they do the Darkseer, but they're not into like this crazy kill lane that they can actually pose threats. This time,
they're going to be able to catch Limp. He got too close to the tower, thinking that his supports were going to be able to gank Iceberg. Instead, it's the other way around. Nico Baby even showing up. This is something that was it Alliance or was it Ninjas of Pajamas? The very early safe lane hero rotation into the mid lane.
Very bizarre rotation.
Yeah.
He's still level 5. Like, I mean, okay. He gives the lane up to the Underlord a little bit top there. I guess he just really wanted to try to help around that DK ult timing. But it's just weird TPs from both sides a little bit here. General as well as Nico Baby. It'll all fix itself in a moment here.
Yeah, no doubt.
General. He's got the level 6 now.
Not a whole lot they can do to him. FNG, on the other hand, maybe they can kill him. Nope. Defends himself nicely there.
Healing Ward plus Oracle is always going to be a factor in this game, even though there is those like high damage. Oh, they actually
There's
have
the
the mana.
Slash. They've got the level 6. They've got the mana. Now they just need a little bit more damage, and FNG puts it out with the Purifying Flames.
Okay. Yeah, Healing Ward is probably going to prove to be a very annoying thing. They don't have incredible heroes to actually take it out. Someone has to commit to actually hit that a lot of the times, and it's going to be a factor with Oracle and with DK. Super high tanky hero. And Limp really got slowed down because of that, though. That death really hurt. And they're even setting up on him again. This high-leveled Grimstroke, level 5 already. They're actually going to go for it. Can they get the catch?
They do not. Limp, I believe, also knew that there were some heroes in there because they had that scan. They did an aggressive scan to the side of the tower, so it's interesting that Limp chose to go for that anyway. And he was right. He read it correctly. They don't really have the best gap closers when he's in dragon form. He can just kind of cruise on by. Mask of Madness already up for the Sven, who is top net worth.
Yeah, he's gonna free farm. Jug is still matching, but Jug is not gonna be able to match now. Sven is going to pull way further ahead because he does not have any. He has no steroid on this Jug. He has a Darkseer Ion Shell for killing, but not to increase his farming. FNG will get spotted out, attempting to go for a ward here. These three, this is a great kill trio though. They can pretty much kill anybody. Just have to worry about that Jug spin in particular, but they will eventually have Phantom at some point. But yeah, they're looking to invade. They're gonna find S4 is like, I died there last game. Not again.
Yeah.
Same exact camp, same exact one.
Same exact timing, I think, as well. Iceberg instead heads to bottom lane where it looks like they're going to try and pick up the clockwork kill here.
Ooh, okay, it's level 6, steals the creep. He's going to be spotted, though.
Looks like they missed the tornado, so they missed that combination. Always want to fly. Very did. Throws out some damage before he goes.
Punished for his greed. He was trying to steal the money from the Ion Shell on the creep.
They were going for Hanskin earlier, missed the kill, but a second attempt does net them a win here. Pull back, try to keep him underneath the tier 1 tower so they can have the vision to stun him. But sadly, they do not catch him. Iceberg's aggression is once again rewarded. 5-3 now as 10-minute battle runes coming up. Roger held in place.
Is he going to get the rune, though?
He's going to try. Pick it up, pick it up. No.
That was... You know, we usually say ambitious plays, to not be... That was an extremely ambitious one. He just saw 3 heroes right down the bottom, right?
Yeah.
He just really wanted to go for the trade of the bounties, playing the gold game. All things considered, though, I think FlyToMoon's pretty happy. Like, their Underlord, he didn't die. He only died the one-time top from the use of the Omni Slash, and now he's getting quite a bit of farm. I'd be pretty happy if I was in his position here.
Yeah, I think so, too.
He just has such natural good matchups in this game versus these heroes. And, for people who don't know, Underlord has been changed quite a bit here. His pit is actually crazy how much better it's gotten. So I actually like when people put value points in pit now. Maybe not because of the matchup he was against. He skipped it, right?
Sure.
Versus Jug and Oracle doesn't really do anything. But that pit really does start to get very powerful.
Yeah.
Even the level 1 is now like 1.2 seconds rather than the 0.9 it was before. It's just gotten buffed a lot of times.
Yeah. I think this is, if your lane doesn't warrant it, I think this is about the time you're going to consider it. Roger, he's looking for the toss away on Hanskin right now, but he doesn't see anybody close enough. Finally, S4 shows up. but he's given a surge. Avalanche trying to cover his tracks as Roger looks to be able to escape with the hook shot. Lands its mark. The ion shell should burn him out here as Roger will not escape back to that tier 1 tower. And the aggression into pushes begins. This is a key component of Alliance's lineup, right? Is they have to be ahead of FlyToMoon in the pace of this game.
Yeah, they have to be playing around those towers. I mean, it's Dragon Knight Juggernaut, not Darkseer. Like this trio has been a trio that has been played a lot in the past about just getting those early timings, getting yourself a little bit of a lead, and then just rolling with that lead. You don't want to be playing at a disadvantage versus Sven. They both have gone for the Mask of Madness build, though. Pretty interesting to see.
And Nico maybe just going for the single target build of Desolator. So not trying to keep up in a Battle Fury build or try and stat it up. Instead, just the raw damage.
Interesting, too, like raw damage versus Underlord. So then he bypasses Atrophy Aura because he doesn't have any actual base stats. It's just straight damage. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gets counteracted quite a bit by Warcry in a lot of situations, but it's definitely a way that he's trying to avoid having to worry about Underlord. Did I see that right? I think he switched to SNY actually after we were just talking about it. So
yeah, maybe he was going through that exact same like kind of checklist of heroes where he's like, how do I deal with this Underlord? Thinks about that. Then he sees, oh god, it's 15 armor, I think it is, from Warcry. Like, okay, maybe I need a bit more sustained focus. It is. I do feel like he is in a very problematic position when net worth is even.
Yeah. And it's just like it's just a tough one because like what do you want to how do you want to build your damage in this game versus Sven and Underlord? Like you're gonna be reduced heavily. You don't have great targets to stick on either. Like Invoker is gonna be able to ghost walk a lot of the time. So I think he's probably just like, geez, what's the best item build? SNY kind of fits a lot of different variables.
Yeah.
So far, General has not committed his gold here. He's actually just sitting on the plain Bassi. Maybe contemplating the Veil for his team.
Limp gonna be caught. Pit of Malice first. Runs in with the Inkswell. It's going to be a lot of chain stunning, but Alliance still has a chance here to be able to counter-rotate. Oh no, the Soulbind! It catches the two of them. They're going to go for the Dark Rift out. They do have it on the slash. It sticks on Always Want to Fly and brings him down. Iceberg, though, will survive.
What a quick response coming out. They didn't have the Tiny. Roger's actually chilling in bottom, getting his farm on. He's trying to get his Blink Dagger timing, because this game, he's not having a successful one. The other ones, he had the Blink already done. I think if they had him up there, that's actually a kill before they're able to counter-initiate on the side of Alliance. But he's showing on the map, so they know they can just turn it there.
I do like the way, though, FlyToMoon set that up when you said, like, they've got excellent kill combos, and if they bring the Underlord with them, they can always force that kind of response and then just get a free get out. I mean, who cares if they're Always Want to Fly dies, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Sven's just able to farm during the majority of the time.
Yeah, he was hitting on mid-tower a little bit. Speaking of...
Always wanna die.
Die he will.
Yeah.
7th kill of the game for Alliance as they start taking over the Ancient area.
And I love that they do that, right? That's, I think, like the best move that they can make out of this top situation. They're like, we can't take the tower. We get a kill, but what's their best move next? Steal Ancients from Sven. So definitely like that they put some wards around there and emphasized on the left side of the map versus this Sven.
The Underlord trying to do everything he can to stop this Dragon Knight from bringing down this tower. It eventually will get low enough, though, that they'll have to make that tough decision of, do we want to keep it alive? It's only got 2 more hits, so maybe we deny it. Yasha done for Nico, baby. If you were Huntskin right now, what would you be talking about for Alliance? What do you think needs to get done? Because I feel like FlyToMoon, it's a little bit more natural, right? We just kind of like defend our towers, keep playing for the farm on Sven.
I think they can still look for fights, and I think these last wards that they did were so big. Like getting the wards, getting the vision around that triangle, I think that's one of the biggest elements they have. I think just keeping aggressive. They drafted themselves like a pretty similar draft than they did in the last one. Sure, maybe a little bit more cooldown reliant because it's, DK form compared to Void Spirit and Jog, Omni Slash compared to like a Weaver, but they can still look to play very active with their team. So I think keep playing invasive. Sven doesn't really want to turn up for quite a long time still. They have a very strong 5-man. DK, Darkseer, Jug. I believe the mech is soon to be done on the Darkseer too, so yeah, they should. I think they can just group up and look for any type of engagements. Just keep making them respond to you. while the Sven farms, because you're going to be winning those. You're going to have a 5v4 in majority of the situations.
So finish off this mid tower here. Keep playing around that Radiant Triangle.
Yeah.
Deny the Ancients, which is really big for Sven. That sounds like a pretty solid game plan. And so we head back into the game.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned for Alliance's damage, but we're really starting to see like FlyToMoon's having some damage issues because of Iceberg being so slowed down, and yeah, V2 just can't get involved yet.
15-minute bounties will get split. Looks like V2. He wants to even out the tower difference here and take this safe lane tower. It'll be interesting to see what Alliance does, because you said look for these fights, and Nico Baby is already here. See if the rest of the team responds. He's going to pop out.
He's going to get out of this one, though. I think this tower is... When V2 shows up, that's when it's like, all right, we're not actually fighting a 4v5 now. This tower is unsavable.
Sure.
Don't risk that one when you don't have everyone set up. When it's on your terms, I guess I could say, that's when it would be better, rather than just a response to FlyToMoon.
And a better opportunity to get those terms is with this Blink Dagger from Limp. So now they've got some clear initiation where it doesn't have to be just the clockwork.
Yep. And on the side of FlyToMoon, they don't have their clear initiation yet. Maybe that's the Blink flying out on the Tiny, I think, though.
Yeah, it should be about that timing for him, right?
Still short. Still 200 short. He's still suffering a bit here. Is stacking some camps, but like we said, there's vision coverage from Alliance. Now they've got their ults back online. Look at them clumping up toward mid. Get that mid tower. Even have Hunskin in a really good spot here.
They see the Underlord is a little bit out of position. If they're going to 5-man anyway into this tower, might as well make the fast move. Catch somebody right away, take the tower, and push in. Look for more. Limp blinks forward. Trying to catch Always Want to Fly. Didn't have the Dragon Tail, though.
Immediately into the triangle, too, because of that ward that they placed earlier. They see poor Roger. And it is poor Roger.
He's got the vision on him. Limp, nicely done dodging that avalanche, and will, okay, doesn't quite get the Dragon Tail just yet, but Roger honestly has nowhere to really run. Nico Baby could kill him at any point, but he doesn't want to blow the Omni Slash. It's not necessary.
He's saving that for the Sven. Well, for one of those big cores in particular. They're making all the right moves.
Dude, can we see those two wards again? And then the sentry that's right in the middle there on the triangle, it's missing 2 wards.
Yeah, it's pretty much perfectly placed. They did get the 1D ward on the southern side of that triangle, but yeah, I mean, that was such perfect movements there. Probably FNG, right? The one who's calling for that.
Yeah.
Making that invasive play, getting those wards down versus Sven. Yeah, and they're not the usual ones.
Yeah, I have to imagine those wards are specifically placed because you so often place the sentry right there in the middle to cover like both of the tops of the ramps, basically.
Yeah. This one is kind of a usual one because it blocks the camp as well, and it's a very easy one to get in there with at like very little risk. But yeah, they're having a tough time actually dealing with that, and tough time dealing with the aggression that's coming from Alliance. Like, Iceberg is just nowhere to be found. He's having a really tough game.
Yeah.
He's got this 4-staff. He's 3-0-0, but you're not feeling that impact of him because he doesn't provide too much versus this DK who has Soul Ring. He doesn't care about EMP. Jug just spins it off, and the rest of them are kind of off the map for the majority. They come in afterwards. This time they're trying, though. S4 is showing his face.
With the Inkswell initiation from Roger, but a nice save from FNG. Forgave all of that magic damage that just came in with a Fate's Edict.
Beautiful. And saves the ult. That's when you know, comfortable Oracle player. He didn't panic ult. He knows this is all just straight up magic damage. I can prevent it easy with just a quick W. Nice Fate's Edict. And now, boom. Time to go. They see where FlyToMoon is positioned. They're looking to fight. They have their blink. V2 might want to get... V2's in the area, though. He might want to get involved, and he's pretty strong still.
Did he just pick up
I think it was a BKB,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Nico Baby's coming forward. They're going to try and blow up the Underlord as quick as possible, separate him from the rest of the team, but here comes V2. He's already going straight for FNG. No FNG here. Now getting good cleave hits on the Darkseer, as well as Limp turns back to Nico Baby instead. Nico Baby being slowed down by this damage of the Cold Snap, the constant stuns while he's Mask of Madness. Plays to his doom, and a really big win for FlyToMoon, because that win turns into a tier 1 mid.
Yep. That's huge. V2 turns up at the perfect timing. As his BKB comes, Alliance overextends. They got the tower already. That was just a dive forward to try to get extra kills, and they get punished for it heavily. When V2 finally does show up, they have the numbers.
Oh, geez, Alliance, though, they're not slowing down. They actually come right back and try and fight FlyToMoon, take away General before he can get the Dark Rift out. They surge up. You know, Always Want to Fly is here. Blink is ready to go.
An overextension from Alliance gets followed by an overextension from FlyToMoon. Both Tier 1 towers had died, and then they just go for the extra rather than just being satisfied with what they've achieved and what they've gained. So a little bit of mistakes there coming out from both sides. And
Yeah,
we'll
I always
even
find
things
that
out.
funny, like the in front of the tier 2 mid is just such a like for whatever reason you do always seem to find yourself there, you know, pushing in, but it is a kind of a no man's land. There's nothing really to be obtained there. You're surrounded by jungle and high ground areas and a tier 2 with its aura. It's like just a terrible area to
and
fight.
you just had used everything, like especially for them, they just used God Strength, they just pushed forward, they just, like, everything was already utilized, so yeah, they get punished for their over-aggression, same as Alliance did before. But now Alliance, they get a little bit of breathing room. They get to back up farm for a second, and then DK farm is going to be back up because they did, you know, die initially earlier with it.
Yeah.
So now it's probably going to be back the other way shortly when Alliance does want to make their move. But it's very scary, though. VTune, he's showing now, hey, you're no longer playing this 4v5 game. I'm going to be showing up to all these fights. That's why I went for this BKB. I went for this earlier type of timing build rather than prolonging it, going for SNY, something like that. He could see that Alliance was starting to really dictate the pace, and he wanted to join.
And one of the biggest issues of that last team fight for Alliance was the fact that they got caught by Soulbind plus Pit, and the Sven was able to swing on them. They're going to have to use that mobility, right? While he still doesn't have Aghanim Scepter, that's the one advantage Alliance has.
Yeah, I mean, Aghanims and even the levels, right? Once you start getting levels on this Sven versus Darkseer versus Oracle, you get this Dispel. Starts being a big problem to actually protect yourself. And we saw FNG. He has Aether Lens, which is, I mean, amazing farm. We never see FNG with items, so this is already like, wow. But he was very far deep forward that time. He got caught by the Sven stun.
Yo, love the shovel when you're an Oracle.
It's the best item on Oracle.
Yeah. He makes such good use of the healing salves that are dropped.
Yep. He's like the only hero that actually utilizes. I feel like everybody else is like, God, whatever. I'll just tank a creep wave and just use this, whatever. Like, here we go. On the aggression again, VTune. He's feeling strong, level 16.
They're going to run right into S4. Catch him mid-surge. But what a jump in from Hanskin and the vacuum back into the Cog stun. It does a good amount, but V-Tune, he already got off the God Strength BKB, and he's laying in the work onto the Dragonite. He quickly gives up, though, seeing that false promise. Roger looks like he's going to be the victim here. A beautiful counter initiation from Alliance, but it only results in 2 support kills unless they catch Iceberg. That would be really big. He's so close to being able to get out the Dragon Tail. They're going to give him the vision inside of the trees. Great rocket flare from Hanskin. And that should be the death of Iceberg. He's still got a tornado, but I just can't see him getting out of here as Hanskin's on the other side of things.
Oh, picture perfect. How beautiful by Hanskin. Did he have the... I didn't see it first. Did he have FNG's Fortune's End on him when he charged? I saw the ink swell pop when he charged. So did he dispel it or something? Either way, beautiful initiation or counter initiation by him and S4. That was sick. They just that was looking really disastrous, but then V-Tunes just kited and split up in the fight. They don't have General. FlyToMoon's outnumbered. Alliance has the numbers, and now into a quick Roche with this Deso.
Man, if he did get out that Fortune's End, which I think you're right,
and look,
did.
I saw the
That
pop.
is such fast play for them, because that was a smoke that just broke on them. Granted, they did have a ward, but it's still great reactions.
I saw the ink swell pop, so I was like, wait, something popped it without it being able to like do the full duration of the stun. So it probably wouldn't have changed anything anyway, but it was just cool. I like seeing those type of interactions.
Absolutely.
They're always dope.
I mean, that was a healthy amount of AoE damage as well, so... 4,000 net worth lead for Alliance, and they do have the Desolator, but VTune...
He's still really, really strong.
He had, like, the Sanj queued up at some point in time, then he had the Aghanim Scepter, now he's looking at Daedalus?
I think he's just wanting to kill people during the BKB duration.
Okay.
Right, because he hit DK 3-4 times, and DK actually got relatively, not like low, but he got him down to like the halfway level. But now there's a Halberd coming out, so he might be switching up his items quite a bit here. But so I can understand why he would want to go there.
It's like two different sides of the same coin, right? He's got this problem, which is they're super mobile, and it's going to be hard for me to hit them. Instead of trying to counter the mobility with mobility himself and the Aghanim Scepter, instead he just says, I'm only going to get a few swings in, but goddamn, those swings are going to hurt.
Have to count, yeah. And he has the thing is, he has Quas Wex Invoker too, so high levels of Wex, he gets an Alacrity thrown on him. If he's just doing that crazy high amount of damage, could work. And he does have Grimstroke. You know, he does have at least some tool to boost him up. Inkswell move speed.
And he's also relying on his team to output the disables that he may be missing, and they've got tons of those. Soulbind, Tornado.
Okay, he buys the full Daedalus. All right.
Okay. Well, that could either be a brilliant choice or a total disaster, all depending on this high ground push from Alliance. I'm not sure if they're really going to commit too much, but they may get caught in the process.
They might be sneaky here.
Look at FlyToMoon. They're coming in so fast. The Dark Rift is going to be able to catch them with a Pit of Malice. Stun already going out. Soulbind onto the 2. Look at this Sven, though. He's going to wait until the Heaven's Halberd wears out, and then he just hits whatever he can.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Desolator. Oh, no! He just got ripped apart by that Omni Slash. He didn't expect that at all.
Oh, did you see FNG as well? Was he just Shadow Amulet in the corner so the Sven couldn't find the Oracle?
Uh-huh.
Oh my, he just died immediately. The Deso pays off.
And the Daedalus does not pay off. Sven does not have a buyback. Fortunately, the rest of FlyToMoon does, and Alliance will probably be forced to slow down on their push here. No Dragon form, and the Underlord is up, so I can't really see them doing a whole lot here.
Did he pop the mask too? So did he have even more minus armor?
Yeah,
And then he I think he did. So he just got wailed on.
Oh, look, hey, Alliance. They say, no, we're going to go 20 seconds while the Sven is down, but Dragon Knight got caught by the preemptive Yule Scepter. Limp blinked in and instantly got stunned up. Now he's stuck in the mire.
He's tanky, though.
The
and
pit,
fates.
the ice wall, I mean, it's all just creating time for the rest of the team to bang on the tier 3s as he takes no damage thanks to the Oracle.
A little bit of a disarm there.
Sven is back up. Can they get here in time? Can they save this melee barracks? It doesn't look like it. They're going to be able to finish it off in a second. A nice toss back, though, onto Hanskin. Pops his blade mail, does what he can in return, but the rest of Alliance says, see you later, Hanskin. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. We're going to take that melee barracks. We're going to try and get out. Or maybe they're going to try and turn.
Look at FNG. He's trying to be so sneaky. It worked before. The Sven could not find him.
It happened one time. He's right there.
They're looking for the re-engage.
General, he's going to be the target here. Lays out the Pit of Malice and hides into the trees. They don't have the Omni Slash, so Alliance isn't super certain that this fight is a good one. Finally, they see the Oracle here, taking him out, and I think with the Oracle gone, Alliance is saying, okay, now it's time to go.
Enough funny business, FNG. They spotted him this time. They were ready with sentries. Ah, that was sick, though. Him hiding in the Shadow Amulet. And Sven, dude, I just watched V2 being like, where is he? Like he's just looking around like, oh,
he's like, I don't want to go on those 2 cores. They're too damn tanky. I got to find that backline heroes, but old Oracle, FNG, he had a trick up his sleeve.
Very nice plays there from Alliance in response to a sneaky smoke, too, from FlyToMoon. I thought that could actually have some success if they got the initiation a little better, but quick reactions from Alliance. As it's been kind of the story of the whole game, quick reactions from them, right? Like the way they've been counter-ganking and the way they've been moving around the map, just quick. And that's, we did mention how in the first game, they suffered a little bit because of these long cooldowns and all that. Yeah, they're really playing to their strength at the best here with this speed.
Level 20 now for the Sven. I believe we also have BKB up for the Invokers. So these are really big upgrades. A lot more stuns are going to be going out. You can see him, V2 continuing to double down. Bought the Daedalus, now going to go for an AC, seeing that damage from the Desolator.
Yeah, I didn't get to see what order he clicked everything in the bottom, because I saw him God Strength and then I saw him Mask. I don't know if he Warcried first.
Yeah, I think he didn't Warcry.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't, because he died so damn fast.
Yeah.
So has to be very careful with his button usage in this situation, as Nico Baby does pack a punch. And I feel like Vambrace is actually so good on Jug when you have this Agi one, because it's all about attack speed in your Omni Slash, right? So
yeah.
Now he actually gets an even better item, though. Orb of Destruction.
Orb of Destruction with the Desolator that he already has.
He's on his way to Abyssal Blade, too. That control through the BKB. Looking good right now for Alliance. Really dictating the pace, not allowing the other cores of FlyToMoon really to get online too much. I mean, Iceberg, he's still 4-1 and he still has 4-1, but he's not really
nice pick off
too much.
But if they think to themselves, okay, we got a kill. There's no way Alliance is going to take a fight against us, right? They'd be dead wrong. There's only 3 up here from FlyToMoon, and thankfully for them, they're going to play a bit skittish, just off the line of where Alliance is currently prowled up. Going to back up to their 5-man position.
Wow. I thought Alliance was considering that engagement there too, because they saw the Grimstroke nuke, but just really playing it calm here. They know they got this lead. They don't want to be the ones forcing an issue 4v5.
Man, they're going to give FNG the mobility item. in the spider legs.
Because he can
Cool.
he can sneak. I mean, he was already sneaking with just a shadow emblem. Now he's got the glimmer and the spider legs.
What's our clock have? Ooh. Just because that's a classic clock item. He's going to carry the telescope instead. So
that's
very sacrificial from Hanskin.
Yeah, very opposite, as you'd imagine them to be holding the opposing items. But they're going to be, their lineup is about that group up, so he should be in range of the Oracle for the majority.
Absolutely. Successful scan there from FlyToMoon on the Shrine.
Bounties, though. Who's going to get greedy for it?
They try and go for it. Always want to fly. He just gave up his slide. Oh, the tornado! It stopped the hook shot that was on Roger. That would have been 2 kills. Good save there from Iceberg. And Always Want to Fly. Did he get that bounty run?
Was it
I feel like he did. He absolutely did, right?
Yeah. They were waiting. They were baiting somebody to get it.
Yeah.
They still have DK form active. Limp still wants to try to find another grab here. He's got an Invis rune too.
Dude, Aether Lens, Telescope, and now the level 15 talent for Oracle. He's going to be chucking out all those saves from quite the distance back.
Yeah, I actually don't know how they find him in the backlines. It's going to be extremely difficult. It's going to be on Roger to try to find that, but at the same time too, they want to focus the targets that get hit by the Soulbind, but someone has to address FNG. So hopefully that Tiny Roger's carrying a Dust in particular to be able to chase out into that backline. But yeah, we're seeing this win rate. 93%. Alliance have firm control. Nico Baby is fully online as he's matching the farm of a Sven, which is not a place a Sven wants to be.
I don't fully disagree with that, but I just thought that Dota Plus would give a little bit more to Sven and his late game power, but guess not.
Usually,
does have the AC
it shifts a lot when there's okay, when your cores are 0-5.
Yeah.
It shifts a lot when you get a Rax advantage too. But yeah, I mean the other cores just are non-existent really. Like even though it's like we said, Iceberg, he's not dying a whole lot, but he can't contribute too much. Now he feels like he's just this walking setup and then an alacrity, and that's pretty much it.
They lose their Underlord and then immediately move to the bottom part of the map, where they'd be quite right that there is going to be someone isolated here. Iceberg is going to spot Hanskin. Tornado lands first. Now Rogers going to try and follow that up here.
He's gonna get out of here though. Okay.
Pretty sure that was a kill, but
I thought so too because he had the Grove Bow debuff as well. So it's like Tiny's combo is going to actually do a lot more damage there. But I guess he was just scared. They didn't see everybody. I think they saw like a couple heroes with the Radiant Ward they had on the left there, but I don't think they saw everybody. So they're probably just getting a little bit broken now as this game is really turned south quite quickly.
They're going to need Alliance to really screw up on a high ground push. On Alliance, they've already done one very successful push in the bottom lane. And as the Underlord's up in 15 seconds, no need to risk anything. Let's just play for Roshan.
Yep, back it up. They've got all the tools they need. They've got good ward coverage too. Easy Rosh. And the onus is now on FlyToMoon to try to contest this, but it's going to die very fast at this Jug with the Orbit Destruction, Deso.
Yeah, what he's doing, 450 damage crits.
Yep. They're smoking, though. They want to try this. And Limp's ult is going to be ending in a moment here.
Again, Alliance knowing how far ahead they are, I think maybe they could have taken Roshan fast enough, but no need to take that
risk. No risk, yeah.
Let's just sit on our high ground, wait for FlyToMoon. We have the bottom lane that's always pushing in anyway, so that's going to give us some good information.
Even sending those illusions that he picked up to push out mid. So they know they're getting more out of the map now, and they're actually going to look for this fight instead. They're going to
This is classic.
No ulti on Limp, but they have more than enough to be able to jump if they do find any target.
Yeah, if he just gets the initiation, he's got BKB, draws a lot of attention to himself, and then Nico Baby comes in with the killer, that Abyssal Blade.
This is such a good wraparound here.
They're getting on even grounds. They spot him. They're going to go straight for the support first. Try and finish him off. The Dragon Tail does manage to go down at the same time. Hanskin catches Iceberg. Look at that. Omni Slash right in the middle, though. Doesn't finish off V-Tune, but he gets the Abyssal Blade to follow up here. BKB still active. God Strength. Turn around. V-Tune feeling confident he can turn, but now he realizes he's got no support behind him. He's being gone on an FNG. Make sure he can't actually swing. He was disarmed for some of that. He has so many answers to him from the side of Alliance, whether it's the hefty amount of armor, whether it's the multitude of halberds or disarms from FNG. He can't do it by himself, Fogged, and yet he has to try because nobody on FlyToMoon has farm.
Nope. they just know they just focus everything on the Sven, right?
Yeah.
General dies immediately to an Omni Slash, and Nico Baby is reigning supreme. 13-1-4, making it look kind of easy this one around, as he just knows exactly what targets to go for. Iceberg gets away.
Yeah.
He keeps his nice 4-1 in whatever he is, but he is not able to contribute. And
GG.
that's that.
Wow. I mean, I don't disagree. There's still 35 seconds for this Sven, but it has to hurt for FlyToMoon, who felt like they built so much momentum, Fogged, where they went into the series, they 2-0'd previously.